So today I'll be showing you everything about Dr. Brown's bottle, how to use it, how to put the parts together, what the parts are for, so stay tuned. Hey everybody, so I'm guessing you guys are here because you're either a new mom or you're just curious about how to use your Dr. Brown sterilizer. So I'm going to show you everything about this. I'm going to show you what each part is used for, what goes where the bottles go, where the nipples go, how to put this thing together, just everything about this whole thing. And I'm going to show you how to start it because I know me personally, as a new mom, I'm actually still a new mom, but I was so confused and overwhelmed on how to use this. I didn't know what nipples were, what the bottles were, how to sterilize, what sanitizing meant, what nothing meant. I was just clueless, but now it's a piece of cake, so don't be overwhelmed. Watch my video. I will walk you through a very easy process on how to use it and what each part, like I said, what each part is used for, and it'll be a piece of cake. Don't be stressed, so stay tuned. So when you take it out of the box, it's gonna come just like this, all sealed up. The first and foremost thing that you wanna do is, when you take off all the plastic, make sure that you wash every single part. So you would have to wash this part, and the bottom part, and also the bottom part, because it comes from the manufacturer and you don't want that smell to be in your machine. So make sure you wash it. I do use baby soap to wash this. I don't use any of my soaps. I don't use any harsh chemicals. So make sure whatever you wash your bottles with, which I wash mine with the DAP, I believe it's called. That's what I use to wash this. And I also use these to wash it. Dye-free. This is dye-free. I'm very paranoid about stuff like that. Dye-free. This is the soap I use. So I use these two things to wash this. When you're done washing all this, that's the first thing that you have to do. So this part is the lid. This part, it's gonna come like this, and then it's gonna come with this little thing. All you do is attach it. It's like a handle. And this is where you place all your nipples, your caps like this. And then if you have a colicky baby, you'll have these like me, that you place them. And then you can also place your pacifiers in here too. You can pretty much place whatever you want in this tray. And then comes this tray. And so what happens here is this always goes Dr. Brown, always on the front of the machine. But on here, you place all your bottles here, and you place your colicky green little thingies right here. And so what you do is, once you finished washing, just so you guys know, this doesn't wash your bottles for you. So you have to wash your bottles thoroughly with soap. Make sure that these bad boys are very, very clean, very thoroughly with hot water, hot soap after they drink milk. And once they're fully clean, that's when you place them in the machine. So don't place them if they still have milk on them. Make sure they are clean before you place them in here. Like I said, make sure every part is very, very clean, because all this does is just sterilize. This doesn't clean the bottles for you, just sterilizes to make sure if there's an ounce of milk, if there's even a dab of milk, if there's any bacteria, that it takes it all away. So don't get confused about what this is used for. It's just for sterilizing, okay? So like I said, it comes on, this is the lid right here. This is, you put all the parts, the nipples, pacifiers, whatever, even if he has teething toys or she has teething toys, whatever you want, you put them all in this tray. And this is where all the bottles go. And then on the bottom here, this is the heating element. This is where you pour the water so your bottles could get sterilized. And so you're gonna get a cup like this in your box. And what you do is, you're supposed to use distilled, but I just use normal water. You fill it till about 110. You don't have to be exact, but I use cold water. You fill it till about 110. You fill it right in here, right in the heating element to 110. And there's actually a finish line right here that tells you finish line. So don't overdo it, because if you overdo that, it's not gonna work right. So you fill that up with cold water. And by the way, I clean this every couple days with water and soap, all these parts after use. And I also use vinegar about once every 10 days. So if you guys ever want to see that video, comment below and I'll be happy to show you guys how I clean it thoroughly, because this does have to be cleaned even though it's a sterilizer. Okay, so I put the water in here. That's done. So what you do now is you put this back on, make sure Dr. Brown's is facing the front side. And then I have all my washed bottles, nipples, all my accessories that I have in here. So you take each bottle, bring the camera closer, I'm sure you guys can see, and you place them right in these little holes like this. So I use glass bottles. I used to use plastic, but I use glass just because they're less toxic. I just transitioned into that about 3 months ago. But if you are using glass, usually this only fits about 6 bottles. But if you're using plastic, then it fits like 7 or 8. And they say that you probably can't put 7 or 8, but I just do it anyway, just because it's all getting sterilized. It's all in the same machine. But sometimes I'll fit 7 in here, but normally I fit 6. So all you do is just put them in here just like this. Just like this. All right, and then you put these green things. There's little tiny holes right next to the bottles. That's where you put all these, if you have these. Like I said, you don't have to use Dr. Brown's and you don't have to use those. Those are just to prevent colic and gassy. So you put those there. You put all of them there. Like I said, make sure all your bottles are clean. Make sure they're fully washed, because this is not cleaned for you. It just sterilizes, okay? So I'm gonna show you guys how that looks. I'll bring the camera closer to show you guys. You guys see how it looks? Each bottle's in its category. Okay, sorry about the movement in the camera. I just know that I was so overwhelmed as being a mom that I didn't know how to use anything, and I didn't know what anything was. Okay, so now this is a tray. This always goes on the top, never on the bottom. Always this little hook goes on the top. Make sure it's tightened, goes on the top. And I'm gonna take all my accessories. Like I said, if you guys have more, have less, don't worry. Just place them up here and it will be okay. You don't gotta do it perfectly. When I became a first mom 6 months ago, I did everything so perfectly. You can just throw them all in there. They don't even have to be one by one like this, but I just do them just so that way they get clean really good. And then if you have sometimes extra, you can just throw them on top of each other. It's no big deal. So you place these like this. All the nipples. Usually I sterilize these pacifiers at least once a day, and I probably use about 2 a day, just so they can stay fresh and clean. Okay, so once this looks like this, you got the accessories on the top, bottles down here, this here, it's plugged in. But remember, make sure it's fully washed, because I'm sure if you're watching this video, this whole thing is brand new. Either you're wanting to buy it or you have it already. Make sure it's all washed. Like I said, with soap and water only. Make sure it's washed very clean. Okay, you put the lid back on just like this. So it goes bottles, the tray, and it snugs right in. So make sure it's in when you have it in. Okay, and then you put the lid on here. And like I said, make sure you add your water down here. The water is down here, okay? Make sure it's at 110. 110. So it's gonna go up to that line right there of cold water. It doesn't have to be exactly, but just make sure it's 110 and you pour it right down here. So make sure there's 110 filled all the way up to 110, pour it in here, then put your bottles. Okay, so once this is all said and done, so it's all ready to go. So you power it on, it's right here. Okay, and then this is the option, the second option, it goes power, and then it goes, this is just for sterilizing. So what I do, this, I haven't really timed it, but this takes normally 45 minutes to 50 minutes if it's fully sterilized and dry. So I make sure mine are fully dry just because they say I guess it's not that great if they're not dried. So mine takes almost close to an hour, a little bit less. So if you just want to sterilize and sterilize only, it would be the second option right here next to the power button. And then this, I think, is just for drying, the third button. And the auto is what I use. So when you press the auto, and I'll press that now, the auto does the sterilizing and the drying all in one. So you don't have to come back and press each button. So this just does it automatically for you. So it sterilizes and it dries for you in about 45 to 50 minutes, I think. It takes a while, but it's okay. That's what that does for you. So now it's on sterilizing and drying mode, and make sure all your parts are good. There's vents here where it all comes out of. Make sure it's not under anything. Make sure it's got air to breathe. So like I said, put it on auto if you want it to sterilize for you and dry at the same time. And what I do is when I clean it, I only put it on sterilizing. Sterilizing only takes 7 minutes. So just in case you need a bottle and you're in a rush and you don't have any more bottles, let's just say an emergency happens, you can just sterilize it. It takes 7 minutes. You don't have to dry it. If worst came to worst. So the second button is just sterilizing it, not drying it, if you ever need to use that. But that's what I use when I clean this whole machine. So if you guys want me to show you when I clean the machine, let me know in the comments below and I will be happy to post that for you guys. So now it's just gonna be on basically autopilot. I'm gonna just wait almost an hour till it's ready. Once it's ready, it gets pretty hot, so wait about 5-10 minutes, then pull all the accessories out, all the bottles out, or you can keep it in here for 24 hours. It's good for up to 24 hours as long as it's all kind of sealed up. So yeah, that is it. So I hope you guys enjoy the Dr. Brown's bottle sterilizer machine. I've been using this from day one, so it's pretty much all I've ever known. I like it, but in the beginning it was such a big deal for me. I was so confused on how to use it. So I hope this video helps you, and I hope that you're not overwhelmed, and it's okay to be confused because that's what a new mom is. You're confused about what every part is, how to use a machine, so don't worry about that, but just know that you're doing your best. And if you have any questions, leave them on the comment below, and thank you for watching my video. Bye.